Hey everyone, welcome to my crazy, deranged, full shipment challenge of Stardew Valley. Completing the shipment list on its own can take a bit, but in this challenge, I have to ship the items in list order. To make it more difficult, I can only sell things through the shipping bin and only once the item has been unlocked. So, as an example, the first item is horseradish. Once I ship at least one, I can continue to ship them to make money. With this restriction, that means no selling to Pierre, Willie, or any other vendor. If you're still thinking it won't be as bad, you're wrong. Dead wrong. I've watched a few other YouTubers attempt this challenge, and I was hooked enough to try it myself. I created my save file like normal, but I did choose the Meadowland farm to start with. The thought process was I would save money not having to purchase a coop and chickens early on. I'd miss out on the 15 parsnips, but the farming XP every day would be very helpful. I also checked the year 1 CC completion, but to be honest, it's highly unlikely that would happen even if I did get a red cabbage seed. I'll talk more about things as we go along, so sit back, relax, and watch vicariously as I board the struggle bus. Day 1 started like any standard playthrough. I collected the hay, then gathered wood to make a chest. I scrounged the valley for forageables, but only got disappointment in the form of some spring onions and a dandelion, which wouldn't do me any good because I couldn't ship anything until I found a horseradish. Not to be deterred, I went around greeting the townsfolk and swung by Pierre's to purchase seeds. I didn't remix the CC bundles, so I could get away with buying the normal crop seeds. I did blow the rest of my money on parsnips though, to help make sure I could get the 5 gold quality for the community center bundle. I don't want to spoil anything, but get used to seeing me broke. It happens, like, a lot. I popped back to the farm to plant the seeds and water in them, then went to town to continue to greet more people. I went to bed that evening with 0 skill levels up and 10 gold to my name. I think we'll call this a success. Day 2 in Stardew Valley is usually a really big day for these type of videos. Willie gives you his bamboo fishing pole, and then the cash starts piling in. In this challenge, however, I will only be fishing to complete the community center bundles, help wanted requests, and to max out my fishing skill. Not being able to sell the fish to Willie or through the shipping bin is a huge adjustment for me, because my standard first few days are always focused on fishing as much as possible. I won't say I didn't enjoy not fishing full time, but being stuck at 10 gold really humbled me. The fish I needed to catch for the spring bundle were a sunfish, catfish, shad, largemouth bass, carp, bullhead, sardine, bream, and eel. Several of these can be caught in other seasons, but it's nice to check them off as early as possible. By the end of day 2, I had found one of each spring foraging, meaning I could officially start my shipment journey. I did ship the horseradish, daffodil, leek, and dandelion. 4 down, 6,000 left to go it seems. I also reached level 1 in foraging and in fishing. Day 3 was the usual break from watering, and my chickens had produced their first eggs. I picked them up for the farming XP, but I wouldn't be able to ship these for quite a while. Now let's use this time to talk about the generic routine for the season. It'll get boring after a while, so I'm not going to show off every day of each season in this video. Trust me, you'll thank me later. A typical day is water any crops, visit the chickens to pick up the eggs and feed them if needed, search for any forageables around town, dig through all the trash cans, and lastly, check the board by Pierre's for any help wanted requests. The trash cans have a small chance to give me items I'll need for the CC or for shipping, and, believe it or not, the help wanted request would be the main profit driver for the first leg of this challenge. By the 5th of spring, I was ready to ship the next item on the list, which was parsnips. That pretty much meant any money I earned would be immediately turned back into more parsnip seeds to squeeze out any gold possible. The 5th also meant that the mines were open. The goal, as always, is to progress as far as possible, gathering any ore and gems I can. Again, I can't sell the gems and minerals, but I can donate them to unlock the museum rewards and also to fulfill help wanted requests. Though money will be tight, I still need to have 5 copper bars on standby for tool upgrades. Eventually, I need to upgrade my pickaxe to traverse better in the mines, and I'd need the steel axe to access the secret woods. No chair skip in this playthrough. By the 7th, I had shipped up to a cave carrot in the list. 6 items in 7 days is huge progress. Now I'm ready to move on to the next item. Oh, poop. Yep, just like that, this challenge went Super Saiyan. We went from easy obtain items in spring to having to earn 42,500 gold by only selling parsnips, the forageables I'd unlocked, and help wanted quests. For my part, I at least knew this was coming from watching the other playthroughs. It doesn't make it that much easier to prepare for, but at least I wasn't completely caught off guard. Now you know why I won't show every day. Most of the days have no progress being made, just waiting for parsnips to grow, a request to appear, or community center items to be unearthed. It wasn't a completely boring season for me. I did have some quicker days since I wasn't as focused on friendship and fishing, which meant I could focus on other tasks like expanding my foraging experience. I did make a point to check the traveling cart each time in hopes of finding something useful and cheap, but you can imagine how often that was successful. That being said, I did buy a large milk on the 12th. I'd need to ship one eventually, but this would help me with the animal bundle, and I was actually in 4 digits worth of money. Some other noteworthy moments for the season were, I finished the spring crops bundle on the 13th. On the 14th, I was taunted by an expensive duck feather I couldn't afford, and commissioned a silo. On the 15th, I gathered the heck out of the salmon berries for some nice easy foraging XP, upgraded my pickaxe to copper on the 17th, and even had enough money to buy the backpack on the 22nd. On the 23rd, I completed the minecarts bundle, the crab pot bundle on the 24th, hit fishing level 5 on the 25th, finished the construction bundle on the 27th, and closed out the season as usual on the 28th. Compared to a regular playthrough, the season didn't seem to accomplish much, but I did complete a full room in the community center, I upgraded 2 tools to copper, bought the bigger backpack, leveled up some skills, and ended up getting the greenhorn achievement for making 15,000 gold total. Let's see what summer has in store. Much like the start of spring, the early focus for summer was to buy the needed seeds, catch the seasonal fish, and gather the foraging for the CC bundles. I was still pretty much continuing the same daily routine from spring. Crops, chickens, garbage checking, requests, and foraging. I'd never gone as hard on the requests in any other playthrough, and it's actually really impressive how much they can help in a challenge like this. It's still going to take me a while to get the necessary money to repair the bus, but being able to afford seeds and potential cart items was really helpful. Even though I don't always mention it, I am steadily gaining level ups in each skill. I'm also donating what I can to Gunther because I'll need access to the sewers. Like most things in this challenge, it's not a big rush, but the sooner it's done, the sooner I get to check another thing off my list. I completed the ocean fish bundle on the 4th of summer and was even able to catch the puffer fish. I was level 6 fishing, so it wasn't going to be too bad, but I had a jelly that I got that I could eat just for extra safety. On the 5th, the cart once again flaunted something that I'd be interested in, a coconut. I was tempted for a moment, but I knew I had to get to the desert anyway for the coconut and cactus fruit to ship and possibly for the community center, so I let it go. Summer 7th though, she had a duck egg that I didn't pass up. It was only 300 gold, and the possibility of not having to upgrade the coop and buy a duck soon was worth it. And then the stars aligned. On the 14th of summer, the traveling cart had a truffle. You know what that means? No pigs. At least for now. I'd still need a truffle to ship and another one to make into truffle oil, but that's a problem for future us. I took the newly purchased truffle and several other items I had stored up and headed up to the community center. I finished the summer crops bundle and was able to make a dent in some of the other bundles. On the 19th, I finished the artisan bundle. One more bundle to check off several more to go. On the 21st, I went ahead and commissioned a steel axe from Clint. I wanted to save my money, but I needed to go ahead and get this done so I could access the secret woods and start getting some hardwood prepared for Ginger Island access. On the 23rd, the pickaxe was done, and I went right over to the secret woods to see what I could get. On the 28th, the traveling cart tried to tempt me with a rabbit's foot, but it was just a tad too expensive. I'll be honest, I did contemplate selling some of my spring forageables to Pierre to have enough, but I kind of figured that would ruin the spirit of the challenge, and it also would leave me pretty strapped for cash for fall seeds, so ultimately I decided to pass up on it and really hope and pray that this would not bite me in the butt in the near future. By the end of the season, I had once again had some decent accomplishments. I had completed a few more CC bundles, upgraded my axe to steel, gained more levels in the different skills, and got lucky with the truffle in the cart. Let's see how lucrative fall will be. As expected, fall was an exciting time. What had been seasons of slow money making would increase drastically, but more on that in a moment. To start the season, of course, I bought the necessary crops for CC bundles and shipping. On the 2nd, I finally got the Demetrius cutscene for the farm cave. I chose bats. I know mushrooms would save me having to buy the dehydrator, but more fruit was needed for the CC bundles and I could get mushrooms from foraging. Now the source of increased money. You probably already guessed it, but I'm referring to the special request board. In addition to the regular requests, these would grant much more money. The first one I chose was aquatic overpopulation. I didn't need to do every single quest, but any quest that required me to ship a specific crop would be impossible given the challenge. So that would impact the choices I had. Fall 3rd, I found a walleye in a trash can. I still needed a catfish and tiger trout for the seasonal fish, but I'll take a free fish anytime. I also made more attempts at catching the midnight carp for Demetrius, but I'll tell ya, for a claimed overpopulation, they sure seem to be rare. It also doesn't help that they're only available from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. By the 6th, I was worried about not completing the quest and getting the money, so I gave in and bought the fiberglass fishing rod and then crafted a bait maker. Lo and behold, I was then able to complete the quest without issue. Take that, Demetrius. On the 7th, the traveling cart actually had a red cabbage seed for sale, but I knew I'd have to go to year 2 anyway, so I wasn't worried about having to buy it then. I wasn't planning to upgrade my house at all, so instead I took advantage of the cookout kit that you unlock at level 3 foraging, and cooked the fried egg and maki roll for the chef's bundle. On the 14th, I completed multiple bundles. The river fish, the night fish, the chef's bundle, fall crops, quality crops, and fall foraging. I also upgraded my pickaxe to steel finally. On the 15th, I accepted the Cave Patrol quest for an easy 6,000k in gold and the Geode Crusher recipe. On the 16th, I finally attended my first festival of the entire year. I won the Stardew Valley Fair with an amazingly rare and unique display. I didn't really need to spend my points on the star drop, so instead I got the prize ticket, grabbed my chubs, and went home. Clint was back open on the 17th, so I went and picked up my steel pickaxe. For this playthrough though, this was as far as I'd upgrade it. I also donated some more items to Gunther, unlocking the Treasure Trove achievement. I needed to keep donating some more until I could unlock the sewers. On the 19th, I got 2,500 gold in the mail from the mayor, just because. I also bought an apple from the cart for added security. That message about my tree not growing that one day had me worried. The cart struck again on the 21st. I bought a purple mushroom and a duck feather. I also hit level 8 farming, unlocking kegs. Obviously wine is not near as impactful in this challenge, but I still needed it for the community center and to ship. Continuing the great season luck, I got a prismatic shard from the very first Omni Geode that I put in the Geode Crusher. As soon as I can afford the desert, the Galaxy Sword is mine. The 28th brought in a huge sigh of relief, with my apple tree giving me the 2 other apples I needed for Marnie's bundle. To recap the success from fall, I completed the most bundles of the CC yet, unlocked the Bat Cave, upgraded my pickaxe to steel, dominated the Stardew Valley Fair, and got a prismatic shard. Not a bad way to go into the next season. Winter normally slows things down, but in this challenge, it already feels like we're crawling most days, so not much of a change. I was still doing the same routine each day, this time with more crab pots added in hopes of speeding up level 10 fishing. They don't give a whole lot of XP, but it's honestly better than nothing. To make the first day of winter even better, I got the garbage hat. I think we can pretty much just end the challenge here as a success. On the 2nd, I completed the fodder bundle. I could have technically finished at the end of fall, but it was nice to get the heater as a reward to place down in the coop for added friendship. I picked up the prismatic slime quest from the board and finished it on the 4th without any issue whatsoever. I dropped it off to the wizard for a hefty 5k reward. I also brought a squid to Willy because I'm a nice person and not at all because there was a monetary reward or anything. On winter 7th, I completed the field research bundle and then the winter foraging, finally completing my 2nd room, which would unlock the quarry area that night. The next day, I decided to be social again and attend the Festival of Ice, which I won, earning a new hat and looks of derision from the villagers that I've mostly ignored all this year. I finally completed the artisan bundle on the 14th, unlocking the greenhouse. Can't wait to use it to grow all the crops I can't ship for a long time. Jokes aside, it was actually perfect timing because the 15th was the night market and you can buy seeds from the different seasons each night, which meant I could load up on parsnips. I bought 100, which at the time seemed really smart, but in hindsight I should have bought a lot more. I repaired the tree by Marnie's on the 21st and sold my grown parsnips for $4,000 and definitely regretted not buying more. When the 23rd came around, I started the first raccoon quest, which would definitely be a priority. I then crafted the mini obelisks that I unlocked from completing the ectoplasm quest. On Winter Star Feast, I got rewarded for all the sweat and tears put into this challenge so far. That's right, I got the tea set. In the hundreds, if not thousands of hours that I have put into this game, I have never gotten it before. The only thing that could potentially compete with this was I did get the Junimo plushie on the 28th. Instead of a season recap, let's do a year 1 in review. In all the 4 seasons, I managed to ship 6 things total on the shipment list. And trust me, even though I don't show it, I was pretty much checking my shipping list every single day in a paranoid frenzy, worried that I'd accidentally shipped something I shouldn't have. I upgraded my pickaxe and axe to steel, which was as far as they needed to go. I finished 2 full community center rooms, and acquired a prismatic shard, tea set, and large Junimo to close out the year. After a year, I can say with full confidence that I was still really enjoying doing this challenge, and I was ready for some more progress in spring. Welcome to the 2nd and hopefully last year of this challenge. For spring, the focus was to sell as many parsnips to complete the vault bundle. While that grind is going on, I'm still prepping for some easier to obtain items that I'll eventually need to ship. For day 1, I prepped the farm and bought 300 parsnips, 2 garlic seeds, and a blue jazz. 1 garlic will be to ship down the line, and the other is just to have stocked for Ginger Island when I finally unlock that. As in the past year, I'm continuing to take on any help wanted and special requests I'm able to complete for the extra money, and I'm steadily working on improving my different skills. On the 13th, I finally attended the Egg Festival and bought 2 strawberry seeds just for some safety and crushed the egg competition. And on the 14th, I completed the Vault Bundle, finally unlocking much needed progress. I cannot wait to get the cactus fruit, coconut, and galaxy sword the very next day. In preparation, I went ahead and finally got to the bottom of the mines. That's right, spring of year 2. I didn't do it sooner because reaching 120 actually makes enemies have more health, so there really wasn't a reason to make monster slaying more difficult for myself. And now on to reaching the desert on spring 15th. Of course it's the Desert Festival, which means no forageables will spawn and no Galaxy Sword until the festival is over. It wasn't a complete waste. I reeled a sandfish for the CC and then made a sad attempt in the Skull Cavern. I wasn't expecting too much, but I would need iridium for Willie's boat, and at best I'd get a rabbit's foot and a dino egg. I also went back on the 16th and 17th in hopes of a rabbit's foot. Not only from the Skull Cavern, but there's a small chance that Jazz will have a stall and you can trade 100 calico eggs for it. No such luck, however. I did trade for a truffle oil from Marnie though, so not a total loss. Also on the 17th, I completed the Raccoons quest, which of course was absolutely the quickest anyone has ever done it. Spring 18th, I completed Pierre's Prime Produce, which was not difficult at all for me to say and taking multiple attempts. Really that one was easy because it just called for 25 gold vegetables and I was planting parsnips all the time. Okay, no more P words in succession. More importantly, I finally got access to the desert and got the Galaxy Sword and picked up a cactus fruit and a coconut. I also bought rhubarb and beet seeds from Sandy to plant for eventual shipping. That night, we finally moved forward on the shipment list. Hooray! To the banana. Oh boy. Banana means Ginger Island access, which means completing the community center, which means basically waiting on a rabbit's foot. So no pressure or anything. Gunther brought me the sewer key on the 19th, which would grant me access to Krobus. I also did my first official Skull Cavern attempt, but no rabbit's foot. However, as a reward for reaching level 5 in the Skull Caverns, Mr. Key sent me $10,000 on the 21st, which I immediately turned around to upgrade my coop. On the 25th, I requested a deluxe coop and bought a duck from Marnie. On the 28th, with a fully upgraded coop, I finally bought a rabbit. I also completed Evelyn's quest for George, and then bought as many parsnips as I could afford. The two big accomplishments for spring, of course, were finishing the vault bundle and getting some progress on my shipping by finding the cactus fruit and coconut. The main focus for summer was hoping for a rabbit's foot and making sure I was equipped for Ginger Island when I finally finished the community center. I incubated a duck egg, for real this time, and bought 2 red cabbage seeds, 1 wheat, and 1 melon, which would both be set aside for Ginger Island. I also completed the Juicy Bug quest with the help of Monster Musk. On the 8th, I got 2 prismatic shards while hunting skeletons for a special request and happened to complete the Slayer goal. Neat! My red cabbage was ready on the 9th, which meant there was only 1 item left to complete the community center. There is a 1.7% chance that your cat, at max affection, can bring you one. Highly unlikely, but you better believe little Wally was getting extra love just in case. I finally gave in and commissioned a barn on the 10th since I knew I would need a cow, goat, and pig for future shipping items. Then, in a wonderful turn of event, I got a rabbit's foot. On summer 14th, I was finally able to finish the community center. First big hurdle down. Since I already had the items ready, I was then able to fix the boat on the 16th and head to Ginger Island on the 17th. Once there, the goal was to collect as many golden walnuts as possible. I thankfully didn't need to collect them all, however, I did need to unlock some of the different areas and would eventually need 100 to access Key's Walnut Room. In addition to getting walnuts, I was also focused on getting a banana sapling. Thankfully, there's a few different ways you can get it. You can trade 5 dragon teeth once you unlock the Island Trader, find it by breaking open golden coconuts at Clint's, get it as a reward by completing the large animal collection in the Island Field Office, and Leo sells one at the shop at the Desert Festival for 100 calico eggs. Well, probably not relying on that one. There's also a small chance you can get a banana by putting blue discus in a pond once it reaches a population of 4. So while I was working on the other methods, the hope was for fish pond luck. On the 21st, I got the sapling by trading 5 dragon teeth. But now I have to wait 28 days till it's ready. The next day, I laughed because I got the snake head and both spines back to back. I know it's more common to get the spines now through 1.6, but it's still pretty funny. I turned those in at the island field office and got a mango sapling. On the 26th, I got the lucky journal scrap that unlocked the ostrich egg dig spot. Another tricky item down. I also went ahead and fished in the dig site to get level 10 fishing, which was the last skill I needed to start unlocking mastery. I then finished out the season by unlocking the island hut and getting the walnuts in the east area. For the season recap, I finished the community center, purchased a barn, visited Ginger Island, and got the banana sapling. Into fall, the immediate goal is to unlock Key's Walnut Room, which I'm able to do on the 2nd. I also unlocked the Warp Tower, which is handy, not just for the convenience, but you also get an island totem. And one thing about these back and forth trips to Ginger Island and then to check the traveling cart back in town is it costs 1,000 gold each time, and if you hadn't noticed, we're broke. Thankfully, on fall 8th, I get the Dangerous Skull Cavern quest, which will give me the opportunity to get radioactive ore. I don't need to ship it for a while, but getting that done means I can be done with Ginger Island. On the 11th, I decided to go to the Skull Caverns in hopes of getting a dino floor for a dinosaur egg. Unfortunately, I forgot it was still the dangerous version, so I was really tempting fate. I didn't get a dino egg, but I did get a rabbit's foot. Wow, thanks. The 15th brought the first and only level of mastery needed. I got the foraging mastery to unlock the Mystic Seed recipe. I'd need to plant it for the Mystic Tree Seed and then tap it for Mystic Syrup. On the 17th, I was able to get a dino egg, which I put in the incubator. Now I realize I didn't need to do that. I thought I had to ship the egg and the mayo, but that's not the case since the egg is considered an artifact. Oh well, we got time. A visit to the traveling cart on the 21st revealed a huge sigh of relief. She was selling truffles. That means I wouldn't have to upgrade to a deluxe barn for 25,000 and then buy a pig for 16,000 just to wait for it to grow up through winter and then be ready in spring. My banana tree was also ready, which means much awaited shipping progress. After shipping the banana, I was then able to ship sap and eggs, and I made over 50,000 gold. On the 24th, my fish pond finally yielded a banana. Wow, how helpful. In spite of that insult, I bought a cow and 2 goats from Marnie and thankfully remembered to buy a milker on the 25th. The rest of the season was spent taking care of the animals and waiting for the tree to grow. The milestones for fall were finishing up the Ginger Island visits, getting truffles from the cart, and finally selling the banana to unlock the next group of items. Now it's just waiting for milk from the animals to move forward. This season of winter would hopefully finish up the challenge since I was really just in the waiting game. My dino hatched on the 1st and my goat and cows both gave milk. On the 5th, I realized my mystic tree was not growing more and was stuck on stage 3. Thankfully, I saw that with tree fertilizer, they have a 30% chance to grow even in winter, so I popped that down there and hoped for the best. Thankfully, it worked, and on the 8th, I was able to place a tapper on the tree and use fairy dust to instantly get the syrup. Another headache done. My cow was also giving large milk, so I can make more progress shipping the small and large milk. On the 9th, I was ready to start shipping in bulk. Part of me wanted to take my time in this challenge doing 1 or 2 items at a time, but I really did want to try to finish this as soon as possible. Once that was shipped, I had completed 4 rows in the collection. On the 10th, I shipped another 2 row worth of items. The shipping continued on the 11th, and I was still really nervous about messing it up, which is why I didn't just do it all in one go. Trust me, this is much better for my mental well-being. I finished the rest of page 1 and even completed the first 2 rows of page 2. On the 12th, I went on a shipping spree. I did several rounds of shipping items, enough to complete the full 2nd page. On the 13th, I shipped all of the items to complete page 3. And on the 14th, I woke up to the wonderful achievement of full shipment. All items shipped in order. I had done it. This was an absolutely wonderful and difficult challenge. I'm sure I could have done some things better, but honestly, I'm really proud to have completed it in 2 years. Obviously, having 2 other videos for reference really helped me prevent some of their struggles from hurting me. So, thank you to both Gwen and Tom for pioneering this challenge, and to anyone else who's curious to try to do this, do it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions on this challenge, but that's all for the video. Thank you so much for watching this journey, and I will see you all next video.